Fuck, where did we leave?
Oh.
Okay.
Milady, please, calm yourself.
I forget about this.
Oh, fuck. Stop it.
We still don't know who the culprit is. And Beatrice-san is an important and honored guest of the Masters.
So what? If we grab her by her collar, she'll definitely confess.
Really thought she was gonna say
If I can just look her in the eyes, I'll know. I'll see through her. A witch, Beatrice? Yeah, right. I'll expose her.
Jessica never stopped moving. Goda and Kanon chased after her, doing their best to convince her to stop, but Jessica never lent them an ear. Eventually, the witch's VIP room came into view. This VIP room was always sealed and never used. No matter what kind of guest came, Kinzo wouldn't let them in there. And yet, the servants were always made to clean this room so that it could be used at any time. So the servants had started calling this room the witch's VIP room after their second shapeless master. Jessica knew about this too, and she couldn't forgive the arrogance of the one who called herself a witch by staying in that room. The Golden Witch was just a fairy tale. Come on, a witch? To Jessica, she was nothing more or less than the murderer who had brutally killed her parents. Question her, hear her pitiful excuses, make her splutter in pain, gasp in anguish. No matter how hard she pretends to be a witch.
I'll teach her that she's just a stinking sweaty human.
As Jessica yelled with all of her strength, she hit the door to the VIP room. It definitely wasn't a knock. That sound was the beating of her anger's hammer, as if she was determined to break the door down if it wasn't opened.
Open up, Beatrice. Come out. You hear me, right? Open up.
There was no answer. Jessica grabbed the doorknob without any reservation, but she felt the resistance of the lock. She turned around to look at the two servants and spoke.
The master's key'll unlock this, right? Use it.
Milady, that would be horribly rude.
Although Goda was flustered, he still tried to somehow calm Jessica's anger. After hanging his head silently for a while, Kanon pulled a master key from his jacket pocket.
Kanon-san, are you sure?
Yes, I'm fully aware it'd be rude if she happens to be in there. At any rate, if Beatrice had nothing to do with that incident, all she has to do is give us a satisfying explanation.
That's right, exactly. Let me borrow that.
Jessica snatched the master key from Kanon's hand and violently shoved it into the keyhole. Whew. Immediately, there was a small sound and she felt the lock click. Then, without asking permission, she flung the door open.
Beatrice, where are you? Come out!
Jessica rudely stepped into the room. The witch wasn't anywhere to be seen.
That bitch! She's not here! Where the hell did she go?
Yes, she doesn't seem to be here.
Oh, fucking obvious, go to Jesus.
Jessica, thinking she might be hiding somewhere inside the room, peeked inside behind the curtains and under the bed, but she couldn't find anyone. What if she was hiding under the bed?
Oh, you mean just like Kinzo?
What the?
Just like Kinzo.
He's hiding under the bed.
With Kinzo?
No.
However, there definitely were signs that the bed had been used. And though it was only a vague sense, the atmosphere in the room felt a little soft. It wasn't the hard atmosphere of a place normally devoid of people like the chapel. You could definitely tell that someone had spent the night in this room, but she could not be seen. In reality, neither Jessica nor Goda had met Beatrice. They had only been told by those who had met her that she looked like a double of the character in that portrait. So they were doubtful about what her face really looked like. However, Kanon alone had met her. He understood what kind of being that witch was, what kind of personality she had. So he knew that forcing their way in here in search of her definitely wouldn't work out. She must be watching us bitterly flail about in vain from somewhere, sneering at us. She's that kind of person. Because he was looking at things that way, Kanon was the first to find it. The other two were concentrating on finding the shadow of a person, so they didn't notice. Near a water jug on the side table, there was a single sheet of letter paper. On it was a short message, and nearby was a fountain pen which had probably been used to write it. Kanon had already come to understand the witch. After finding the corpses, they had been overcome by rage and barged in here only to find no one. So of course the witch would mock them. You can't mock someone unless they know they're being mocked. So in other words, that's what this must be. My lady, there's something written here.
Something written? What?
Jessica dashed over and violently snatched the piece of paper away. She probably wasn't trying to be violent. She just couldn't control her strength right now.
What the? Don't fuck with me!
As soon as she read the message, Jessica went into a wild rage, crumpled the paper up, and threw it. Then she grabbed Ann Lightstand, thanks Monk Gamer, by the bedside, and violently swung it around, mercilessly hitting the walls and furniture with it. The light bulbs all shattered at once, and the fragments were scattered across the room.
Milady, please calm down. You'll hurt yourself.
Let go! Damn it! Damn it! Come on, Beatrice! How could you do that to Mom and Dad? You think you scare me? I'll kill you! I'll kill you! I'll beat you to death, so show yourself! I told you to... Let go of me, damn it!
Oh, I didn't
Your,
even...
like, upper arm.
I did not feel it, so it's chilling. This was written on the paper. You want to voice this?
I can't see past your back.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That stinks. Did you think I'd be that senile to just sit around here waiting for you to come barging in? You're way too intelligent for that intellectual knight.
Inelegant.
Inelegant for that intellectual knight.
You're too smart for this intellectual knight.
Fine.
Damn.
I can only imagine what the parents who raised you to be such a moron would look like. Oh right, I saw them, and they look just as moronic as you. Now, their bellies are full in the land of sweets.
It was the sort of thing that witch would write. It meant she'd predicted that one of the children who'd lost their parents would come running in here. She's hiding somewhere in this room. She must be rolling around laughing now. The witch was that kind of person. She sneered at people's misfortune, using it to stave off the boredom of 1,000 years.
Hand it over. I'm telling you, you'll hurt yourself.
Can't take a fucking light stand away from a 17-year-old girl.
I told you to let go! Damn it! Damn it! Ugh!
Goda snatched away the light stand Jessica had been holding. After all, if she kept swinging it around, she might end up smashing it against something which could cause serious injury. To Goda's eyes, Jessica probably looked mad with rage, burning herself up with flames of anger. But Kanon's eyes saw it differently. Those were probably tears of sadness hidden by rage. So, when the light stand was taken from Jessica, when she started crying on the floor, scratching at the carpet almost as though she was groveling, Goda was surprised, but Kanon was not. Of course. She had lost her means of crying by lashing out in rage.
Dad, Mom!
Considering that she was a daughter of the Uchiromiya head family, she was in a very shabby state. She scratched at the carpet with her fingernails, and even her feet were scratching. Jessica cried very, very hard. Because if she didn't, her rage would start building up again and swallow her up. But over and over again, she remembered that humiliating message.
I can only imagine what the parents who raised you to be such a moron must have looked like. Don't you call them morons! Both Dad and Mom were smart. Unlike me, they were really smart.
And Krauss is a bit of a moron.
Don't you call them morons! Yeah, Krauss is a bit. Take it back! Take it back! Oh right, I saw them. They look just as moronic as you. Now their bellies are full in the land of sweets. Ah! Damn it! I'll kill her. I'll kill her. I'll slice open her stomach and see how she likes it.
As Jessica cried and screamed, she triggered an asthma attack. The servants watching over her hurriedly ran up to her and rubbed her back, but that only provoked Jessica's wrath.
The hell! If you've got the time to do that, search for the bastard. Find him and bring him to here. If you won't go, I will. And I'll kill him with my own hands. I'll slice open her stomach. Don't touch me! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it!
You alright, Hannah?
Damn, you're so good at acting this out.
I know! I'm so good. Coughing and then having an actual asthma attack and I'm coughing.
I'm like worried for you as me and as Kanon as well. Jessica got up unsteadily, and as her asthma continued, she went out into the hallway.
God, what a mood.
Milady, your medicine, quickly! I will call Dr. Nanjo.
Goda-san, would you leave this to me? Kanon had noticed. Goda, who was vastly separated from her in age, probably couldn't sense the tears in Jessica's heart and her eyes. Kanon, who had noticed, had to be the one to support her.
Kanon-san, are you sure?
I believe Milady needs some time to cry right now, considering that she saw her parents killed like that.
You're right.
Goda also understood, and he knew that Jessica and Kanon had shared a vague relationship with each other, so he understood everything and left it to Kanon.
Very well. I will go back to Rosa-sama.
Thank you.
Please, take care of the lady.
It's a cold day in hell right now because Goda just said you're right, Kanon.
Yes, leave it to me. Kanon's voice was frail, but he nodded firmly.
That smug-ass look in Goda's
I
face.
hate looking at Goda. I just want to punch him with his giant meaty claws.
After looking at his eyes, Goda nodded firmly as well. Goda was a veteran with many years behind him. He'd seen a great number of people in his life, so he knew the vigorous sparkle that could be found in the eyes of those who possessed self-control. He had surely seen that in Kanon's eyes, so he would leave this to Kanon. When you think about it, maybe this was the first time Goda had ever trusted Kanon and relied on him for a job. Jessica, still suffering from her asthma, seemed to be heading towards her room, though she kept leaning against the wall. Kanon followed her wordlessly. If she had asked for a hand, he would have leapt forward and supported her. But until Jessica did ask for that, he chose to hide himself, watching over her from a distance, where he could come to her rescue at any time. When people feel their hearts are about to explode from sadness and want to have someone by their sides, you can bet 10 billion of them would want to turn around and find someone in the place Kanon now stood, as he watched over Jessica from behind. Then finally, she doubled over in front of the door to her room. Fuck. I got a dumbass Steam message. The asthma attack had stolen all her strength, and her thoughts had gotten hazy from the lack of oxygen, making it impossible even to stand up again. But right then, Jessica didn't think she wanted someone to lend a hand. She still hadn't been able to overcome the flames of anger. Even if someone had offered her a hand with good intentions, Jessica would have wanted to tear it off right then. She knew how unfair that would be, so she definitely wouldn't ask for help until she overcame the fiery anger burning inside. Jessica had probably lost the willpower even to call for help. But Kanon heard it. He definitely heard it. Kanon definitely heard that voiceless call for help, one shared by miserable grievers the world round. An endless scream that no one ever seems to hear. Kanon quietly knelt by Jessica's side and wordlessly offered her a shoulder. Though Jessica kept coughing painfully, she accepted it, unlocked the door to her room, and entered it. This way. I'll prepare your medicine right away.
That's good too, Dan. Thank you, Scott, for shipping in for that one.
I just felt like I needed to cough.
Yeah.
Jessica often said that when her asthma got serious enough, it hurt so bad that it felt like she'd vomit up her whole stomach.
Do it be like that?
It's one, dude, I was literally throwing up blood like 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah, that was the thing.
Yeah, I throw up from my asthma so much all the time that I popped all the blood vessels in my eye and it was blood red for like 3 days.
Damn, Jessica might just be Hannah in like
It
fictional
hurt a
character
lot. It
form.
hurt like a lot. It was really sore. It felt like a black eye, but it was just like the ball. It was
Yikes.
inside my head.
Yikes.
Her face was pale and her gaze wavered. And yet the coughing continued.
Gaze?
Yeah, gaze. Gaze.
What?
Maybe she is me. The gaze.
Even so, her
Gaze
sadness
cause
was probably even stronger. After having her sit on the bed, Kanon took a bronchodilator from a cute little basket on a nearby side table and handed it to her. Jessica sometimes forgot to take her medicine with her. Whenever this seemed to have happened, Kanon would take notice and secretly carry around the inhaler from the first aid kit in the servant room. But he hadn't done so today. He scolded himself as though wondering how he could call himself furniture after failing to bring it with him on a day like this. Then he remembered the day when he'd used that word and somehow betrayed Jessica's feelings. It jarred Kanon's heart, but he felt it would be indiscreet to think about something like that, considering how Jessica felt now, and he locked it up inside the depths of his heart.
It's probably Jessica.
Oh, yeah. When she inhaled her medicine, Jessica's wild breathing calmed down bit by bit, and she was finally able to regain her composure. But she'd lost too much strength and willpower to get up from the bed. Are you alright, milady?
I'm alright. I'm all messed up over Mom and Dad, but after I cry a bit more, I'll be alright.
Kanon regretted his poor choice of words. Did he really say, "Are you alright?" to her? Was he really that clueless of the pain in her heart? This was what made him furniture. This was why he couldn't become human. I will be in the corridor. If you need anything, please call me immediately. Kanon understood that she still needed some time to cry alone.
Good ass song.
He told her to call him at any time, bowed, and tried to leave the room. Do you need something? Jessica had spoken up as though she wanted him to stop, so Kanon had stopped. If she asks it, I'll do anything I can to help her. Right now, I'd become even a cane or a chair if it would help ease the pain in her heart.
She could sit on...
Whoa.
He said he'd become a chair.
I mean, like,
He is furniture.
He is furniture.
I don't like
Sit
the
on
way
my
you
face if she wants to.
I don't like the way you guys are twisting this. My boy Kanon would never want that.
If by doing
Just
that...
sit on his face?
I mean, if she
What's
wanted
wrong?
it,
Is
he
a
would.
fucking bitch?
Yeah, but he wouldn't like.
Only bitches don't go for the puss.
Maybe Kanon's a little bit of a bitch then.
Kanon is kind of a bitch. Anyways,
I thought it was furniture.
Only bitches refuse to snack on the puss. Anyway.
if by doing that, I could make up for the pain I dealt to her heart on that day. For a while, Jessica stared into Kanon's eyes. It was as though her reason for stopping him was something she couldn't put into words. For a while, neither spoke. Jessica broke that silence with a small voice.
I'm sorry. It's nothing. Could you tell Aunt Rosa I want to be alone for a while?
I won't let you be alone.
Huh?
I won't let you be alone. So, I will be in the corridor. Please call for me at any time. For just an instant, it looked like some kind of hope had flitted into Jessica's eyes. But it was very faint and disappeared like the first snow on the surface of a river.
Thanks. Let me cry alone for just a bit.
Yes. Excuse me. Kanon bowed once again and closed the door. He thought those words of his would give her some courage, but now it felt as though they'd actually hurt her for some reason. Why? He didn't know. Surely that was because he was furniture. That was why. He couldn't grasp human sadness even now. As Kanon repeatedly questioned himself, he walked down the corridor. He felt like the window at the corridor's end was coolly calling to him. In the end. Am I nothing more than furniture, after all? It was still pouring outside, a dark, gray world. Even on days like this, Shannon would surely see the ocean and know that it was blue. But to my eyes, even if it cleared up, I would only see gray. Until I can understand the blue of the ocean, I'll be nothing but furniture imitating a person.
You really don't understand a woman's heart, do you? At times like this, you want to silently remain by her side. That's why you're furniture.
You! There shouldn't have been any trace of human life in this corridor. It had been an empty corridor filled with frigid air. But those scoffing words approached Kanon from behind. When he turned around, he saw that witch. That witch who hadn't shown herself when Jessica had searched for her with a rage bordering on madness, and who had left that sneering letter to toy with Jessica.
There are 3 ways to hurt a woman. Let me teach you them. 1 is to hurt them with a blade. Another is to hurt them in their heart. The last way is the most difficult and most effective method of hurting them. And yet it can hurt them without you even realizing it. Do you know what I mean?
How could I know? I don't even want to know!
It's to betray their expectations. No living being is more of a dreamer than a woman. They make up dreams all on their own and end up hurting their own selves. A distant man like you hurts women the most. You couldn't understand. You have no idea how deeply you've wounded Jessica. After all, you're furniture.
I have no intention of playing along with your nonsense. Did you appear only to sneer at me?
Don't be so full of yourself, furniture. You aren't worth sneering at. Still, though you may not be worth my time on your own, if the 2 of you are gathered, that's all I need. The pleasure that comes from laughing at the fates of young couples never tires me.
What did you say? You don't mean Milady is going to be...
I like that face.
I need 2 who are close for the sacrifice of the second twilight. The 2 of you truly are convenient.
Wait! Don't misunderstand. Milady and I don't have that kind of relationship. We can't become the sacrifices for the second twilight.
That's why you hurt Jessica. That's why you cannot become human. Then there should be no problem if you won't admit you have feelings for Jessica. I can accept that. But I will kill her.
Why?
You idiot. Isn't it obvious? It'll be fun to kill her and see your face twisted in pain. Why else?
Following
the rules of the ceremony, 13 people will be sacrificed on my whims. However, there's no rule saying I can't kill more. If it amuses me, I will kill any number of people. So I will. Make me laugh as hard as I can. Kanon, the furniture!
that time, Kanon definitely heard Jessica scream. When he blinked and looked down the corridor, the witch who'd supposedly been there so nonchalantly just a second ago was gone. At that moment, he was just standing there, all alone in the corridor, doing nothing. And the person he wanted to protect was asking for help from far away in that direction. It was obvious what he should do. It wasn't logical. It was an electric reflex, without a trace of hesitation or distraction. There was a person he wanted to protect, and she was asking for help. And at that moment, he genuinely wanted the person by her side to be him. When he flew into Jessica's room, the scene that greeted his eyes was a bizarre one. The room had become a fantastical world where a blizzard of gold-colored specks danced, almost as though gold leaf had been scattered inside a snow globe. No, that's not it. I've seen this spectacle before. This isn't gold leaf. It's countless golden butterflies, Beatrice's minions. Jessica was surrounded by countless butterflies, waving her hands around, trying frantically to drive them away. Milady!
Kanon-kun! Help!
Kanon rushed towards Jessica and violently brushed the cloud of butterflies away. The butterflies, which were sickening despite their beauty, surrounded Jessica's face, trying to crawl in through her mouth and nose.
I can't believe that Jessica's boring all these butterflies.
I want to say that they're reverse boring her, actually.
It's not reverse for because they're still going into her rather than
Yeah,
coming
but
out
she
of her.
doesn't want to be doing this.
Going into her?
I mean, shit, it does say that they're
Anyways.
going into her.
That's...
Any worm.
Any worm?
Any vor.
Any squirm.
Jessica choked violently. Almost as though the butterflies were triggering an asthma attack, mocking her. But when Kanon ran towards her, the butterflies stopped attacking and began to dance an elegant rondo around the pair.
Kanon-kun! Kanon-kun!
It's okay. While there's still life in me, I won't let anyone lay a finger on you. Come out. Beatrice! Are you happy now? As he stood guard in front of Jessica, who was using her inhaler and seemed to be in pain, Kanon yelled into the empty air. And when he did, the empty air did indeed laugh back, satisfied. Then she showed herself. It wasn't in response to Kanon's demand. It was obviously because appearing and sneering would bring them even more humiliation, and plus it was more fun.
Now everything fits into the plot. Now you're carp on the chopping board. No. Since we've got a pair of you, should I call it duck with green onions? You, Beatrice.
Please, stand back. I'll protect you, milady.
When the princess and knight come together, it's inevitable that the witch will appear. Yes, why don't you show me how much power Kinzo's furniture can muster?
She snapped her fingers with a piercing sound. When she did, a blizzard of gold butterflies was stirred up, and they began to form a small mountain as they whirled around in a circle. It was just like the swirling of a cold, wintry wind that builds up a mountain of leaves. From that mound of gold, a hand sprouted, and it appeared, as though a resident of the world below was crawling up from beneath the ground.
What is this? What the hell is this?
Jessica couldn't comprehend what she was seeing right now, and her mouth kept flapping open and closed. It was the bite of wisdom seen in those trying to understand something incomprehensible.
Hi.
The fuck?
That thing calling up was probably an attendant who served the witch. It appeared to be wearing a uniform suitable for one who served. But its face was wrong. It looked strange. It was covered with pitch black hair, breathed rotten breath, and its eyes were filled with the same strange subterranean glow as lava. And, to symbolize its non-human status, it had two horns. It was the figure of a goat-faced attendant who served the witch.
I did think it was a dog as well.
Yeah, I thought it was a wolf.
The nose. I thought it looked like
Yeah.
a carrier.
Yeah, it does.
If you want to see, when it comes again, we should check out the manga game, right?
Oh god, okay.
I don't know if I've seen a manga game movie.
It looks fucking disgusting. It looks like weird.
By now, Jessica had no idea what she should say. All this happening in front of her couldn't be explained with common sense, and she couldn't do anything except open and close her mouth. Jessica hadn't realized. She hadn't realized that this island had already been cut off from the rules of our world. But there were some things even she could understand. This goat attendant served the witch and was after her life. And apparently the witch had already given it the order. She was looking at Kanon with an expectant gaze. She looked at him with an expectant and therefore challenging gaze, as though asking him how he intended to protect this maiden. Though the attendant had looked especially bestial while crawling to its feet, you could see in the way it carried itself that it possessed more than enough grace to be serving the Golden Witch. I want to see this. Yes.
Ooh. Okay, I don't like that, mainly just because that head looked too small.
Yeah.
It looked way too little.
Yeah. You could tell that it was overflowing with the joy of furniture wanting to meet its master's expectations. I don't know why they always make the goats buff. Like, you know, like redone sprites. Like in the PS3 sprites, they're super fucking like swole.
They're
Ew.
units. They are Beatrice's units.
They are units.
Beatrice's platoon of units.
Yeah, actually.
Jeez.
Well, then why don't you show me? Let's see the power of Kinzo's furniture. This time, don't get the wrong idea, okay? Don't forget that your furniture, got it? If you try to continue playing the human even now, it won't be settled by your death alone.
The goat attendant made what seemed to be a silent, respectful bow. Was it directed at its master, or was it offered to Kanon, its opponent? Then on the attendant's hand, a blade of wicked malice appeared. Energy Sword Sunday!
Energy Sword Sunday, my friends.
It's a Saturday.
It'll go up on a Sunday, though.
Oh. What the hell is that?
Jessica had been unable to understand what was happening before her eyes for a while now. All she understood was that this glow in front of her existed for the purpose of ending her life. And right now, that was enough. Kanon spoke quietly to Jessica, who was hiding behind his back. "Milady, please stay back against the wall. Never let your back leave the wall."
What? It's only right for the maiden to obediently hide behind the great knight's back. I do hope you enjoy the pleasure of having your life protected by a man. Now, Kanon, let's have a look at your blade. Here's a butter knife.
Now it's Energy Sword Sunday.
What the fuck
What?
is an energy sword?
What?
In case you were wondering how he plays in Golden Fantasia, this is how that be.
Oh my god. Fucking, so Beatrice likes Halo, I guess.
Yep.
Beautiful. At least when it comes to giving birth to furniture, Kinzo might even reach up as far as my feet. Birth? Don't like the idea of Kinzo giving birth.
A thing like this can't even be used to trim the roses.
Kanon-kun. That's...
I didn't want to show you.
Typical Hokage behavior.
So you've taken it out. How does it feel to expose your subhuman humanity in front of the girl you care for?
Be silent.
Huh. So you'll act composed even though you're really burning with wrath? Yes, they do say that truly hot flames burn a cool blue. Is that how you are now?
There's no way I can kill you with my power. You are the moon. I could never smash the moon by throwing a rock. However, in order to manifest yourself, you've had to reflect your image off the surface of the water. If you throw a rock at the surface of the water, you might be able to disturb the moon's image for some time. But that doesn't mean the moon has been smashed. So, until this life of mine is over, I'll keep on striking your reflection.
I like it, Kanon. Begin, furniture!
Energy Sword Sunday.
Oh my god, it really is Energy Sword Sunday. Is that why you made
I
that
love
meme?
this face.
Such a good face.
Ugh!
My guy.
Is that why you made that meme before we came in here today?
Of course. Wow.
Oh shit.
Let's see how many times can I really take this image and paint?
Honestly.
When you have zero money.
God, what a mood. Huh. What a beautiful curve.
The witch's words of admiration broke the silence, and for just an instant they broke Jessica's paralysis.
Am I dreaming? Am I tripping balls?
Come, furniture of the witch. I'll beat you down to the hell you came from.
I guess Nathan's voicing the ghost.
Oh. Shit's so raw.
Shit's very raw.
It is.
Kanon is just
Oh.
a raw boy.
Shit.
A strain of red had been left on Kanon's cheek. The witch saw this and grinned broadly.
Feel free to mutter excuses about how your instincts are still haven't returned quite yet.
Oh, Jesus.
Kanon, stay strong!
It's okay. I won't die just yet.
I love this energy slurp shit, actually.
Oh, I forgot they did that, actually.
That was the fanciest animation I've seen yet in all of Umineko.
Actually.
Bye.
Meh.
Oh my, in Spirited Away, those little paper bird things, and how they slice them in half and then they material,
Wait.
The curve drawn by the goat attendant's blade drew a large arc in empty space. Kanon wasn't there. He was behind it.
Teleports behind you.
Nothing personal, kid.
God, what is he, a fucking ninja?
Yes.
Go back and await your master's return. Die.
Naruto ass motherfucker.
Meh.
I think I need to die. I wish I was that goat so I could die right now.
If this battle of drawing sparkling curves was chess, then Kanon coming from behind was check. And press and press and press and press. Use
One
7
and two
moves
and
and
three
make
and
it
four.
mate.
This is a Zumba class?
Perhaps the goat attendant hadn't even been granted the ability to go into death throes.
And
As its
before
knees
Sunday.
buckled and it fell over, it broke into a bunch of gold butterflies with a pop.
So
Gotta pop
Kanon
it.
has instant transmission is what you're saying.
Yeah. So there was no sound of it hitting the ground. Even those unable to understand this battle would surely realize that Kanon had been magnificent.
So we couldn't win against a handmade piece. It seems you aren't quite that pathetic.
You're next. Beatrice!
Whoopsies.
The instant Kanon's blade sliced diagonally through the witch's form like a knife through butter. She turned gold and burst. She scattered into several thousand gold butterflies, and for just an instant the room was filled with the color of twilight. It was just as Kanon himself had said. Slicing Beatrice was just the same as slicing the surface of the water where the moon was reflected. The witch's form, with an ordinary expression on its face, as though she'd been there the whole time, was right behind Kanon.
You've proven quite an entertaining show. Out of respect for that, I thought about letting you off the hook, but your rudeness now has made me change my mind.
Don't lie! I won't let you kill Milady. Even if that's impossible, I won't let you kill her while I still live.
You can't even do that much. Do not speak, furniture. Be silent, furniture. Know your place, furniture. Kanon-kun isn't furniture. Huh. And what makes you think that?
He's got an energy sword.
I don't need a reason. He's a Halo character.
Honestly, he's
I'm
an
a
elite.
Spartan. Spartans never die. They're just missing in action.
Fuck.
And he's missing an action from his fucking game. Kanon-kun is... Kanon-kun. No. His real name's different, but the name doesn't make him furniture. Kanon-kun has his own way of living. That's a noble thing. And it's something he gets to decide for himself. You say he can't have an opinion because he's furniture. That he can't live his own life because he's furniture. What's wrong?
Milady, you mustn't provoke her.
No, I've got to make this clear. Kanon-kun isn't furniture. He's human. Why? Kanon-kun rushed to save me out of his own free will. And he stood in the path of a fearsome witch like you. He had so many chances to let me go, but he didn't. Self-sacrifice is part of the noble spirit that only humans have. That means Kanon-kun's human. So take it back. Don't you call Kanon-kun furniture again.
Milady.
Be silent, human. Let's end this quick, since this is still just the second twilight after all. Now, I shall sacrifice the two who are close, who have acknowledged each other's dignity. Well then, arise, forgive the sin, one of the 7 stakes of purgatory lust!
The witch summoned her furniture with a mixture of laughter and anger on her face. Asmodeus of Lust, right here.
I've had enough of this farce. Quickly, execute the second twilight. Don't keep me waiting, got it?
As you command.
Another weirdo showed up.
It took Kanon less than an instant to understand. That goat face from a second ago had been nothing more than a pawn to the witch. However, this newly summoned furniture was a game piece with a vastly different value. Wow, I must be lucky to be given such wonderful prey. You scared? How cute. Come, furniture of the witch. I won't be killed by you. You're acting pretty smart for a dunce who can't even follow me with his eyes. Here I go, okay? Hey, where do you want it? Where do you want me to pierce you? Answer me, cutie. I'll pierce you good wherever you want. Come on, answer me, cutie. Don't call me cute! Here I go, you dunce. Come on, try and follow me, you blind idiot.
Glad we decided you were doing this.
I'm foaming at the mouth.
Oh!
I think I'm doing a better job than I thought I would, at least.
Well, shit, that was fast.
Milady. I couldn't follow it with my eyes, but my guess was spot on.
It's Jessica, by the way.
Oh.
Serves you right.
Kanon's back had been the target, but Jessica had predicted it. She predicted that the witch's target would be the complete opposite of fair and honest, his back. But she had no way to block it. She hadn't planned on it being some act of self-sacrifice. She just couldn't think of any other way to protect Kanon's back, so she could do nothing but block it with her own back. The furniture of the witch, which had changed its form into a demon's stake, was buried deep into Jessica's back. It was an obviously fatal wound that reached as far as her lungs. When she saw this, the witch let out a loud, evil laugh, because it had hit where the witch had predicted. Everything was as the witch predicted.
What's wrong, Kanon? Milady Jessica just got killed while you still lived, didn't she? Yes. That's it. That face, that look on your face is what I wanted to see. How truly enjoyable. That's enough. Die. Make me laugh. Come, arise, forgive the sin, one of the 7 stakes of purgatory wrath.
Do you want me to take this one?
I can do it.
Okay, go for it.
We might as well just give them all the same voice, because they're not, most of them aren't really characters. Satan of Wrath, right here.
This prey is yours. Eat him up right now and close the curtain on this stage.
Satan cute.
If you were a human, I'd say it's time for you to step down. But since you're furniture, maybe I should say, it's time for the stage manager to carry you out behind the stage.
I am not furniture anymore. I won't doubt that again. Oh, what's this? You want to be killed by me again? Your chest. It's so warm and it feels so good to pierce it. Come on, let me have another taste, okay?
God,
Once you make
see his Kanon's chest right now.
Once
Satan
you
cute.
Won't you make me feel really good with that hot, fresh blood and that warm chest of yours? Yeah!
Jesus.
Nick's kind of nutting over here.
I'm fine. I don't know what you're talking about. Just being cute. What can I say?
There was no way to block it. The sound of a woodpecker filled the entire room, and before he could blink, it was already right in the center of his chest. When you take a piece in chess, the rules say that it's impossible for your opponent's piece to defend itself. So this was an obvious result, in accordance with the rules. Kanon landed on his knees, and he apologized. Not to the witch, and not to Milady. He apologized to Jessica. I'm sorry. I couldn't protect you.
Don't worry about it. You were really cool.
Kanon finally fell over. He landed next to Jessica, and the two laid there like the constellation Gemini.
You know, Kanon-kun, you aren't furniture anymore.
Yes, I was too late in realizing that.
I wanted to ask you what your real name was.
My real name is... In his last moments, Kanon wanted to tell her his real name, but Jessica had already fallen into a sleep from which she would never wake. So Kanon's real name, which he had protected until today, in the end, he couldn't tell it to Jessica. I became human. Those were the last words Kanon left behind.
Don't make me laugh, furniture! Even after 100 years, furniture will still be furniture. Have you ever heard of anyone stupid enough to dig a grave for their furniture when they throw it away? You smash furniture to pieces and make firewood, so all that's left is ashes. That's how furniture is. Furniture gets no tombstone.
Next time one of my chairs break, I might bury it just out of spite.
Don't even call the fucking... Don't even put in a work order, just bury it.
Yeah.
Let next year find out.
It seems you believe death means an end to your humiliation, but that's naive. I'll show you what it really means to disgrace the dead.
Space is
She
such a
fucking...
Oh, desecration, that's a war crime.
After taking a puff from her pipe, the witch breathed the smoke at
Excuse me?
Kanon's corpse. You ever just say fuck it? Please don't spray me.
I'm not spraying you.
Okay.
I just shake it. You have to like prime it and stuff.
Alright, I thought maybe you were gonna puff some smoke at me.
I
What-
was thinking it was more like that to the ceiling, but it's no feeling.
When she did, Kanon's corpse softly floated up into the air and disappeared as though it had been eaten by a mouth in empty space. You ever just get bored?
Oh,
The witch played dirty until the very end. The corpses of the pair who managed to understand each other in the end were not even permitted to be close. If someone had been watching, they would probably say mournfully, "So this is what you meant by disgracing the dead." However, Beatrice was far crueler than that. The reason for that would soon become apparent.
Huh, that's chapter 1. Fuck. Wait, so how will Battler explain this away? That
Exactly.
Kanon just like killed a goat?
Kanon killed a goat, and then two
where did
stakes
Kanon's
killed
laser
Kanon
come
and
from?
Jessica, and then Beatrice, I guess, made Kanon disappear.
And where'd the lasers come from?
Okay, so here's
Oh,
what happened.
shit.
So what happened was that